everybody! So in this video, I'm going to talk about my current TBR pile. And if you don't know, TBR means to be read. I kind of categorized my larger group of books into smaller categories. So I have a few books that I'm reading just about education, and then I have my just purely for pleasure reading books. For this video, I'm going to talk about ones that kind of fell into a different category. A few of them are social justice oriented, and then some other random stuff. So a couple of books that I am reading that are purely just education genre are, well, this one's actually for parents, but it's called It's Elementary, A Parent's Guide to K through 5 Mathematics. And the other one is a responsive classroom book, How to Bully-Proof Your Classroom. So I'm really excited about those, but I'll talk about those possibly in a different video if you're interested. So the first book I'm going to talk about is called Waking Up White and Finding Myself in the Story of Race. So this book is by an author named Debbie Irving. You can't see that, but and I'll just read a little bit of the blurb for you so you get a sense of what it's about. And I've heard good things about Debbie Irving and this book. It says, for 25 years, Debbie Irving sensed inexplicable racial tensions in her personal and professional relationships. As a colleague and neighbor, she worried about offending people she dearly wanted to befriend. As an arts administrator, she didn't understand why her diversity efforts lacked traction. As a teacher, she found her best efforts to reach out to students and families of color left her wondering what she was missing. Then, in 2009, one aha moment launched an adventure of discovery and insight that drastically shifted her worldview and upended her life plan. So I've been really excited about this. I'm looking forward to it because I think it'll be really relevant to me right now and just something that will really spark good conversations. So next up, I have a book that I have read pretty much half of already last year, but I intend to go back and read the next part. So this is called Teach, Breathe, Learn, Mindfulness in and Out of the Classroom. So I've read part 1, Practicing Mindfulness, part 2, Sharing Mindfulness, and now I'm ready to read part 3, which is Mindfulness as a Learned Skill, a curriculum for mindful educators. So I'm hoping that this will kind of reinvigorate the idea of bringing mindfulness into the classroom and give me some tips on how to make it more intentional and more planned out. So when I look at the plan for the school year for next year, for this coming year, I would love to build mindfulness practice into what we do and into the social emotional curriculum. So it actually breaks down kind of like a unit plan setup. So it has, enduring understandings and essential questions. So all your goals, assessment evidence, the learning plan, classroom setup. So lots of just really usable information. I hope this is not out of focus the whole time. I'm trying to keep this short and sweet. So I'm just moving really quickly. So the next book that I picked up is We Should All Be Feminist. It's a literally little book. She wrote Americana with an H at the end, The Thing Around Your Neck, and Half of a Yellow Sun, which I've heard really good things about. It says that this essay was adapted from her much admired TEDx talk of the same name and offers readers a unique definition of feminism for the 21st century, one rooted in inclusion and awareness. So that sounds really good. It says, what does feminism mean today? And I also I walked into a bookstore, just a little bookstore in New York City, and I saw this, and I was kind of just attracted to it because of the pattern and the size, and I think this will be a really good read. And yeah, so next we have this book called Everyday White People Confront Racial and Social Injustice, 15 Stories. So this one was given to me and recommended by a colleague of mine, and I've been holding on to it, and I've been meaning to read it, but have not gotten around to it. So I think I'm ready to crack this open. And it was put together by 3 different people, and one of them is the person who founded the White Privilege Conference, which also I know a handful of people who've gone and who've loved it, and I hope to go to that sometime in the near future too. So I think that this will be the kind of book that I can pick up and read one of the sections put down for a while and digest it, talk about it, whatever. I don't think I'm going to feel like I need to read this all in one go, so I like that about it. And finally, this one. This is called A Little History of the World. This was another one that was in a bookstore on display. I think it was recommended by the bookstore employee or something like that. I like history as a subject, and I like learning about history, but the way I like to learn and absorb information about history is through personal narratives generally, and stories about people and events. I don't really know if I'm making sense, but I don't usually go for nonfiction history. Yeah, but this, the fact that it's called A Little History of the World and claims to, well, let me read you part of it. It says, in 40 concise chapters, Gombrich, or however you pronounce his name, tells the story of man from the Stone Age to the atomic bomb. In between emerges a colorful picture of wars and conquests, grand works of art, and the spread and limitations of science. This is a text dominated not by dates and facts, but by the sweep of mankind's experience across the centuries, a guide to humanity's achievements and an acute witness to its frailties. So that was compelling enough, but it also started as a book for children to kind of give history of the world in a short and understandable way. So that idea, I felt like, okay, I really have to see what this is all about. And it's supposedly written in a very conversational style, which may be good for someone like me. I do think, and it also got a lot of praise. I do think that it will be, I expect it to be pretty Eurocentric in its view of the history of the world. But I think that if you keep that in mind when you read any account of history, that's just good practice. I love talking about books and reading. I love that there is a YouTube genre just devoted to books and reading, and I think they call themselves booktubers. I think that's so fantastic and so much fun. And I don't know about you, but I also love looking at other people's bookshelves. So I really appreciate that people make videos about what's on their bookshelf. So if you ever want to see a video about what's on my bookshelf, or if you'd like to see a book review of any of the books that I showed you, or book reviews in general. So let us know, what are you reading? What's on your TBR pile? Let us know what kinds of videos you want to see. Subscribe and look at all our other sites below. Hope everybody is enjoying their summer and getting excited about the year ahead, or maybe you've started your school year already. It's such an exciting time in the beginning. Is this cheesy? Yes, very. Fake excited face. I kind of hate when people do that.